But anyway, just a little bit on the two players. Yasi, we see Yasi with two Cosmic Crown Showdown top eights, and just has some pretty solid performance. 3 times CCS top eight, so certainly has his constructed chops. Zbounder, let's see, plays a lot of 5 shards weekly and Arcanum Vault.
Stepping up his
No,
game here, bringing
yeah.
it to the bash this week. Let's see what these hands look like. We have 2 Roost Bard, 2 Ashwood, and a Communion of Wax. Up against a Harrazza Socket deck here. Looks like an AA Moonrise Elder, a Guidance, an Ardent Crusader, and a Sentry of Nulzan. So we got thresholds on both sides. We got the Elf for that Feral Root Acorn, and yeah, some card draw from both sides. From both sides, from one side, with those Satyrs Roost-Bard and the Ashwood Firebrands there making some Valors. So yeah, all things go well for Zbounder here. He should be looking at some early card draw.
Satyrs Roost-Bard and Valor. We've seen a lot of Valor Diamond-based decks, but here we see the Ruby Wild version with Grandfather Elk.
Dreamweaver Ancient is a good little card to be popping down with Elk too. So we see the Firebrand coming first things first. And there is that 2-cost Crusader. Like, that's one of the more impressive things. Yeah, one of the more impressive things that I've seen from this Socket deck is, just including those Ardent Troops so you can get that 2-cost 4/4 down with Sentry of Nulzan. Very powerful play. So we see Satyrs Roost-Bard here coming down with that extra resource for the Valor. The Valor's going to come down, draw a card, and make that Roost-Bard a 3/4. So there isn't too much removal in these Harrazza decks, which means the Roost-Bards are genuinely pretty good here.
If the resource is drawn, we have Communion of Wax, Dreamweaver Ancient, the Dream. There is enough to block it, though. There's also Surging Wildfire, but a resource wasn't drawn, so the play will be Firebrand into resource on Valor onto Satyrs Roost-Bard for another card. But does mean Satyrs Roost-Bard can now block Crusader and Animus, but Animus is there.
Yeah, it is there, and there are Socket Troops aplenty in this hand. We got the Moonrise Elder, and we got that Crusader. So Harrazza the Incinerator's powers being used here. The Socket Troop that's about to be played for 1 cost is going to buff those all up by +1/+1 as well. So, I mean, there could be a double block on that Animus, but the Crusaders are just going in by themselves. Dreamweaver
Animus makes those Crusaders huge, outdoing Satyrs Roost-Bard. Here's the 4th resource that Zbounder is looking for. What is that plan? Communion of Wax onto Surging Wildfire. And now Surging Wildfire's double damage?
Yeah, double damage is going to be dealing 10 to the face, 10 to the dome again, and yeah, unfortunately, as good as that is, it may not be enough here. But there are blockers aplenty, but there are also attackers aplenty. And
yeah, with 2 troops wood speed, 3 troops wood speed being played now. Animus has made them all gigantic. There aren't enough blockers and close. But Yasi will take game 1 of this match.
I mean, that was a good hit though. I mean, that 20 damage would have meant that the rage from next turn would have pushed the lethal through alone there for the elk deck. So if he didn't die that turn, he would have potentially won the following turn.
Just powerful Harrazza troops, enabling plays accelerated by Sentry of Nulzan into tons of damage. Game 2 Zbounder on the play again. Needs to win this one to even out the match. Both players would like to start basically the first half of this tournament with all wins, going 3-0.
Yeah, so this is an interesting thing either side here. So we have the Communion of Wax again. We have the Surging Wildfire again. And potentially there's some damage being dealt to Yasi here prior to that Surging Wildfire coming down. But we also see that Pyre Strike. And if that Pyre Strike happens to be up when this Wildfire comes down, it's just going to take it out. And that could be horrible. So let's see how the players play their things and see if Zbounder can pick out a win here. That was a good rip. The Crusader there off the top means that 2-cost 4/4 is going to be ever present in the coming game. We do see a resource off the top there for Zbounder. He was looking for one of those. Make sure he can get that Roost Bar down next turn along with that Valor, and also puts him on track to hit the Grandfather Elk Communion of Wax turn 4 play he definitely wants. So there's a chance here that Pyre Strike is not held up for next turn because the Animus is playable.
It's just quite a turn 1, turn 2, turn 3 curve that Ardent Crusader fills in. Finds a Runier Hierophant. Can't attack with Ashwood Firebrand. Last game, Zbounder put the Valor on Satyrs Roostbard to try to outblock the Crusader. This time, might be going for some offense on Firebrand.
This is rough, man. Like, I assume the Runier is double damage, and that means it's going to be potentially quad damage if it comes down with Communion of Wax, which is scary by itself. Boltwing Phoenix is... Oh man, these draws are actually been quite good. Putting Yasi down to 19 here means that if he plays anything that stops him from playing that Pyre Strike, he's in some serious trouble. It looks like he's just... He smells the danger. He knows it's there.
He's picked up a Martyr, which will transform target troop into a Monument of the Martyr, which gives all your troops +1/+1. Really, it's a form of removal. Here's Runier Hierophant. The Communion of Wax all in. So, like, just right back, Zbounder sensing Yasi's holding something. There's some sort of answer. And the Grandfather Elk actually used on Ashwood Firebrand. Pyre Strike on the other one. So there's one answer let go.
He gained some charges there from Runier Hierophant, so he's got another charge power ready to go. That means that this turn, we can see a play, and the Martyr held up too. Trash Mute is open here, though. So Trash Mute going onto the Animus here, making a Valor, which is important, obviously, because there is a Satyrs Roostbard on the board. Okay. That went pretty well here for Zbounder. It's just a matter of, does he pull the trigger on this Communion of Wax and lose that massive advantage he has? And it looks like he is going for it. Doesn't play the Communion, but plays the Wildfire out by itself. Puts the Valor on it. Is, you know, maybe he saw the Pyre Strike and now he's sort of like smelling a trick. He does find one, of course, in the shape of that Martyr. But that means potentially a double damage Boltwing. Couldn't be terrible, honestly.
No, and keeps that double damage no matter how it comes back. All right, hand dump, Harazu Power with a Valor.
MC going in. Runier not blocking here. So yeah, the cards are gone from Yasi's hand, but he has established himself on this board. And the Boltwing's coming in with Communion now. Boltwing obviously can go in. It can be blocked and killed. But right now it's doing 12. Power. Can't be blocked and killed anymore, thanks to that charge back. So down to 3. So 3 versus 12, and there's an Animus. And is that Brilliant Tactician?
I think so. But double damage, Minrise Elder finishes this game.
Could that not have been blocked there? I guess not.
I didn't even realize that was double damage. Double damage all around. Again, Zbounder getting within inches of winning. And then Yasi socketed Diamond Ruby. Push Haraza, honestly.
I guess he either skipped through the phase or he just didn't realize it was double damage and forgot to block.
I guess that was it.
Well. Oh man, that was actually looking really good for Zbounder there.
But instead of evening it out, that it will be Yasi 2-0 in that match and will be 3-0 in the 7-round Swiss portion of the HEX Bash.